What's up guys, Keelan Trainer here. If you don't know me, I am head coach at Pointside Powerlifting and I am about to take you through the colossal bombing I did at Warpath over in 349 Barbell. Don't mind the chessboard, that's just there for my intelligence. So we had a rough start to the whole week, never mind the day of the comp. We were meant to be going over as a group with PJ Shannon and little Finley, but baby Finley poked PJ in the eye. He nearly lost his vision, so they couldn't come over. Then Dean got pretty sick. Dean was going to handle me and I wasn't 100% sure if he was going, but all good. He got there, he wasn't feeling too bad. Anyway, day before the comp arrived, we were flying out early to make evening weigh-ins and our flights from Belfast got cancelled. Every other flight to the UK was either cancelled or full, so we were trying to figure out what to do. Ferries had been cancelled, so we found one flight thankfully from Dublin to East Midlands, which for us was about 2 hours away, and then from East Midlands to Salisbury it's another 3 hours, but all good. Jaeger told us he was going to collect us. Shout out to Jaeger Shoots. If you need photography done at a meet, he is definitely the guy to go to. Get a taxi to the train station. Trains all cancelled. Buses were cancelled, but they were starting to go again, all due to some wind. With that, we weren't allowed to purchase a ticket for the 11 o'clock bus until it arrived and they had dealt with all of the passengers who had previously got tickets and their buses were cancelled. So eventually at 10 o'clock we got told there were 7 tickets remaining. There were 7 people ahead of us in the queue, but thankfully 2 of them were not going the same way we were. So we got the last 2 tickets to Dublin, and that ended up being a 3-hour bus drive because of all the stops it had to take. Get to Dublin, all good. Our flight ends up being delayed for another hour. Eventually get over to East Midlands and Alex collects us and it's all good. Just a 3-hour drive down to Salisbury. We go straight to Nando's to get some food, fueled up. All we could get in the shop was some like Powerade sort of sports drinks. There was no big shops open, so didn't have much fuel going into the day, but whatever. We missed the evening weigh-ins. We were going to go early for the morning weigh-ins, get over to 349 at like 7:30, weighed in, got an awesome little goodie bag, weighed in at 130 kilo on the dot. Should have probably been like 132 or 133, but stuff with travel, I couldn't really plan all of that, so it is what it is. Then competition starts. I had no food in me, so all I had at the gym was some jellies, got them in. So was squatting on Powerade and jellies, but I'm a powerlifter, we deal with it. Squat warm-ups were going pretty okay. I actually felt really strong. New man lifts in the warmer frame, figuring that out, but it was fine. Nothing was too major. Position felt good. Wasn't at depth, but the way a multiply lifter wouldn't get to depth too early with their kit on. Wasn't stressed. The meet was held to a really high standard of the rules, so depth was catching everybody at the comp. But I was pretty confident I can squat pretty deep with my kit on even, so it was good to go, was feeling good. I was think that's just another competitive advantage for me. Whatever, we get out onto the platform and I couldn't get the bar out of the rack. Had 345 as my opener and I could not find where to put my feet. If I had them where I normally would put them, it felt like I was too far under the bar, so when I went to pick, I thought I was going to fall back. So I would pull them back and then I would be just way too far forward and I could not find it. And then eventually I would pick it, but it turns out I was just picking it against the hooks and I was just leaning into the hooks the whole time. So when the mono was pulled, I would just start to fall forward and I just didn't even get my 345 out of mono, which was never an issue in training, has never been an issue before, but I didn't train on the competition equipment, so that sort of stuff happens. So if you get the opportunity to train at the gym that the competition is on and the gym owner will let you do that, please do it. It will help you out so much. So whatever, thought maybe I could figure it out. Me and Dean are talking about trying to open up more and get the hips under more so I could get more of a straight pickup, and managed to do it on my second. Weight didn't feel too bad. I retook 345 for my second and the weight didn't feel too bad. Buried it, still got a red light, but it was probably the deepest I've ever squatted in kit. Just to show the standard of the meet, it was insane. But really good. I think 3 people got their openers in my flight, and then I think 7 people in the flight made it out without bombing. So went 375 for the third. Again, couldn't figure out where to pick it, and just wasn't there. So called it. Didn't want to get hurt or anything like that, or mess with the spotters, so just left it. Moving on the bench then, had some squares bars, got some food brought to me, so I was pretty happy with that. At least I had something in my stomach. Warming up for bench then, everything just starts to cramp. Forearms were just like a ball. They were just tightening up everything I did, and in the shirt you are kind of pinned in close, so everything just wanted to cramp in the whole time, and by spreading out apart to straighten my arms, it was just too kind of tight in the shirt to be able to do that comfortably. Thankfully we had taxi coaches with Power Breed, so Sophie's Power Breed was helping me out so much. He needs to bring the lube next time because my forearms were sore for days after. He was just massaging them so hard. And so big thank you to Tex, really appreciate that. And it helped a good bit, but still every time I was kind of getting underneath the bar, forearms would start to cramp. When I started to pull the bar down, when I was locking up in the shirt, forearms were cramping, so things just didn't feel great. Had Elliot there, thankfully, to be able to give me the handoffs. He was doing a great job, but then when I got to 260, which would normally be such an easy warm-up for me, it just didn't move well at all. It was one of those benches that kind of locked out unevenly, so bench was already kind of going to be touch and go going into the comp. I had pressed 305 off of one board twice in 2 different occasions in the gym, so I was pretty confident that once I could get a touch in with anything under 300, I was sure to press it. Got onto the platform, setup felt really good, bench was really solid, everything felt good. Elliot gave a great handoff, and we got 280 down, and it starts to slow down a lot when it's getting close to the chest. And right as I was trying to reach to the belly, the issue I was having in training was right as I was trying to reach at the end, I would let it fall back a little bit too much. So we made sure to kind of reach more down towards the belly, and it would just get a little bit out of line and lost it. Retook it for my second, but the pressure in my head was hurting a lot after that, and I was cramping up even more. Retook the second, pretty much the exact same thing happened, so thank you to the spotters for saving me there. I scratched the third, knew I wasn't kind of in there, didn't want to risk getting kind of hurt before King of the Platform in December. But it is what it is, knew I could still deadlift, but have something big. Turns out then, with the rules in the WEPF, you have to wear kit on everything. My plan was to go in and just deadlift raw, so I wouldn't have to mess or change anything in my training, but you have to deadlift in some sort of equipment. So I went and got my briefs, threw them on, and it felt very different. A lot more pressure when you're getting out of the bar. It didn't have that quick kind of drop in I could normally do. So I was figuring that out on the fly. Things were even a little bit slower just because different circumstances and how Friday was after the day I travelled, but it wasn't too bad. Went in, opened on 300 still, really easy, very happy with that. Checked the scoreboard to see what Gregory went with to try and beat him. Went 320 for my second, and then just finished on 330 pretty comfortably. 337 is my best ever deadlift, so I was really happy to just pull 330 with pretty solid that I'd never worn before. Just really easy at the end of a comp day that was pretty rough. So very confident now that my deadlift is going to be pretty strong going into December. But anyway, it was still a really fun day. I was super happy with the standard of the comp because it's usually multiply comps and equip comps that get shit on because of how poor the judging is. Not everywhere, but a lot of the time you see online where squats are so high, benches are barely touching the chest, and they get a press command. So this was really nice to see. Shout out to like Sophie, Ravi, Chris, all the judges, Robin. So that was awesome. I would really like to see the standard of equip lifting kind of stay high like that, because that is one of the reasons why equip lifting isn't getting the recognition it deserves. I can promise equip lifting is so much harder than raw lifting. Even though the numbers are way bigger, people think they don't count. It is more difficult, without a doubt. No one can just throw on a bencher and do as well as they normally could. It is a whole different game. But anyway, really good weekend. Very happy with like the standard of the meet. Lots of stuff for me and Dean learned. We went for dinner after with Dean, and a lot of brainstorming, a lot of plotting for our own comps and what we can add. There was loads of cool stuff. The stream was awesome. Adam's tech was really cool. The awards are so cool. All things we can do. So pretty sure that's everything. I'm feeling really fresh after it, which is surprising. Normally I'm beat up after a meet, but probably just didn't do enough lifts for to get that same fatigue. So we're good to go. Getting ready now for King of the Platform. Going to be vlogging some more of my training, some more diet stuff going into that. So hopefully you'll get to learn some stuff along the way for that. So thank you for listening.